beginning, then it gets duplicated, right? So thanks for setting me straight right there. Kyla, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I think Wendy wanted to say something before we pop in. You trying to say something, Wendy?
Good morning.
Good morning. Go for it, Wendy.
Well, Brett, actually, I don't even know what the question you asked. I just had not muted my mic. So, hey, I'm just going to say good morning. I'm glad to be here, and we really appreciate you guys. So, thanks.
All right. Well, we appreciate you right back. And as I'm pulling up the PowerPoint here, I'm gonna make sure everyone's muted. Hold on. We have a lot of new coaches in here, so we're getting used to Zoom. I gotta get everyone muted here. There we go. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm sorry. Okay, I think we're good. Norm, I got you muted. All right, cool. Let me share my screen here. And as I'm popping on, you guys, drop in the chat. Where's everyone tuning in from? I see some people with sun in the background, and I see some without. I love that we're all across the United States getting together on Saturday morning. Pop it in the chat. Where are we all tuning in from? I love that we also have 116 people on today ready to take on February. Congratulations. And that's actually number is skewed because Dr. Ray is having an event in Annapolis, Maryland, and I think a whole group of people are there planning on catching the recording. So, oh my gosh, we are all over the United States and some in my backyard. I'm in the Northwest. It is still pitch black outside, but we're ready to go, and we got coffee so we can start our consistency for this month. I went with the cappuccino boost. It's my favorite, and that's how I start the day. How are you? April, what do you got in your cup? Just black coffee? Yeah, something. You're wearing sunglasses.
I know, I'm going to Hollywood. No, I've got a latte with almond milk, and in my lovely mug, that's my Optavia, be an inspiration to others.
I love it. April starting off the day on purpose. So let me get into it because we're a couple minutes behind, and I want to help you guys get started taking on this month. So this is week 2 of Coffee and Consistency. And as we get started in here, we're going to be moving into February, and it's officially February now. We just finished our best month we've ever had. So I literally want to give you guys a round of applause because you guys crushed it. I wish I could talk about everything. You guys consistently across the board crushed it. I can see more clients breaking through. You guys are all coaching at a higher level, and you guys are sharing at a high level, which means that we have more people coming in across the board. So drop me a 1 in the chat if you had your best month in coaching ever last month. We had a lot of new rank advancements, and normally on these calls we would go over that. So I apologize, but we want to commit to giving you guys like the steps to help you change more lives. So on the same token, if you have people to celebrate in your business, give them a shout out of what they did last month. Like give some people some props that had some major accomplishments last month. I think we had 14 new executive directors. So congratulations on that. A lot of people reaching their personal best. Kyla, you're going to go for executive director this month. A lot of great things happening. By far the most we've ever grown in a month. It's incredible. And we're going to move into February knowing that that's the time to make the massive connections and to build on what we did last month. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. And the thing that we're going to start it on here is coffee and consistency. So the other thing is I want to know if you're brand new. I know we covered this last week, but if you're brand new or this is your first training series, drop me a 1 in the chat just so I can kind of see like where we're at and who is like tuning in for the first time. Okay. DJ, Stephanie, Amy. Okay. Welcome. Okay. We have a lot of newbies on here. Okay. Welcome. Love it. All right. So I'm going to jump into today. And last week we covered all about setting up your structure for success because that's what the pros do. That's why we keep it simple. And that's how we can make lots of connection. This week is going to be all about action because we're starting the month of February. We're officially in February. So we're going to go over how to make connections, how to be in front of people, social media, basically how to accentuate the amount of people you're in front of and keeping it authentic and simple and easy. And starting clients and coaches and integrating them from day 1. So again, that's what we covered last week. This is what we're covering throughout the series. And again, just for all the newbies on here, the reason why we call it coffee and consistency is because we wake up Saturday mornings, we learn the steps The people that train are people that run over 10,000 in frontline volume and above and sponsor well and help people pay it forward. And they keep it simple. So all these things, we all have our own voice, but everyone just follows a simple system. So if you're here today, we encourage you to move towards executive director. If that's not where you're at yet, this is the perfect month to do it. And if you've already reached executive director, keep building on that and paying that forward, because it just becomes a duplication process. So with all that being said, this is February, and February is all about connections. I talked about it on my live last night, if you guys caught that, but we also talked about it last week. You notice February is right here in the middle, and it's the linchpin to a lot of important things. It may be the shortest month, so we want to make sure we get after it. It's the month where we only have 28 days, but it also tends to be the month where most people see the result of their consistency. So this is kind of an example of like how your connections build up. Yes, we had a phenomenal January, and again, congrats to everyone that had a phenomenal January. But what happens there is February is important because it also leads to March. You can kind of see the wave building here, but if you plant seeds, they're going to come to fruition. People that saw you but maybe didn't get around to connecting with you, they're sitting right there. Maybe people chose to go do something else, or maybe they were afraid of failing, but you've stayed consistent. Maybe they choose this month right here. Maybe one of your clients of someone you talk to, or someone you talk to knows one of your clients that is having success. It's where the momentum builds. So we're just going to really encourage you guys to be consistent this month. Last week, we covered all about keeping it simple and what we do as coaches. We covered the building blocks, basics, and compensation. And you know what? That was real. I'm glad we covered that. I had a lot of great conversations with people this week about that. And also covering, like, so many people didn't realize how close they were to the next step in their business. And it was eye-opening for them. So that was fantastic. Also, speaking of that, like on that note of that, we had a ton of directors last month. So I want to say congratulations to all the new directors. But here's the thing. I want to say something, because just like Carla kept me straight on Kyla, I'm sorry, she's keeping me straight there, is I want to keep something straight here. It's like something that we do. If you hit director this month, going forward, no one hits director on Brad's watch. There's a $400 to as much as $1,000 difference in compensation, and as little as maybe helping 2 or 3 people start their health journey. So just going forward, I know a lot of people hit director because they were brand new. They don't even know what they were doing. But going forward, if you're at director, no one hits director on my watch. There's always a coach we can help move forward, or there's always people that we can start on their health journey. So just want to give that little shout out for this month getting started. We talked about setting up our month well and how we could get into that, and setting up that structure, and how if we make the time for connections, it makes it really simple. We don't want you working lots of hours. We want you to learn from all the people that are really great at simply putting those blocks of time in. And then we also went over finishing up your month strong, which you guys all did. This week we are covering starting off your month strong, of course, because it's about start of February. And we're going to get into action, social media, building connections, and bringing it to the phone. So one of the things that we're going to spend some time on, and I have some great speakers that are going to give you some tangible tips, so I hope you have your notes on it, is it's something that we call 3, 3, and 3. And now with the new map, it's on your tracker. I'm going to get to this in a second. What my invitation to you guys is this month is, if you follow along with this, you're going to learn to coach well. You're going to learn the nuances. You're going to see success. And again, just practice makes perfect. And that's why we're all coming here and learning these things. And we're learning these steps of how we can reach out and help more people. But there is actually we have a layout. If you're like, okay, I want to just know what I can be doing. And a lot of you guys are doing that. That's why you guys are growing so fast. But some of you don't know about the actual layout of it. And now it's a tracker on the map. It's called 3, 3, and 3. I'm going to break it down here in a second. But it's basically committing to starting conversations with people and just connecting with them authentically. And Lindsay's going to show some examples of that. Posting on social media, and then also expanding your sphere of influence. Like on social media, there's so many people that you probably know, but aren't already connected with. And that's a big miss on being able to connect with them. Or people you meet daily, and then you make sure you want to connect with them, because that connection will just lead to nothing if you don't connect them back to your world. So we're going to cover a little bit of that. And then integrating clients and awakening coaches before we ever talk to them. So I want to go back to the poll question that we started in here. When we started this, I asked, what do you guys want to learn on this? We're going to show you guys the systems. We're going to show you what works. We're going to show you and learn from all the people that run over 10,000 and above. And the biggest question was, how do I awaken clients to integrate, and how do I awaken coaches? And we're going to get into some tangible things on that. But one thing I want you guys to see today is it starts way before you ever talk to someone. And like Kelly, I see you and April on the screen right now, and you guys know that. Wendy, you're on the screen too. You guys know that because when you guys started being consistent and doing some of these things we're going to share today, it changed the mode of how your clients approach this, see this, and when you talk to them, where they're at. So it's an accelerator of magnitude proportions. Also in supporting them. When you're supporting them, like, you guys realize that half of the support is what we do and how we continue to move in our health. It's our example, not what we tell people what to do or how we support them. So social media and being out there and living out loud is a huge part of this. So I just want to hit that because that was the biggest question. I didn't want to miss that piece right there because it starts way before we ever talk to them if you do a lot of the things that we cover today. And I'm just going to get into it. So first off, I want to help you guys understand social media. And again, I know I'm preaching to a lot of people that know this because we've trained on it before, but to all of you newbies that are getting started and making your connections, helping your first people get started, we are excited for you. We want to help you do more of it. So I won't go into depth today, and Dan and Jill and Jen and Lindsay are going to share some of this. But using social media to your advantage as a part of making connections. And we're going to show you basically how to do that this whole month. But like, for instance, this is just a screenshot of my Facebook this morning. Look at Lee right here. She's a health coach on our team. She's at Dr. A's event right now. But Lee has changed her health. And because she uses social media well, she was the first person to pop up on my screen. Guess what I'm thinking about when I see Lee? I think about health. I see her changing. So utilizing this. So, I need to drink a coffee real quick. So, as you guys are getting familiar, I know we have all different levels of people's understanding. I want to kind of go down to like basic stuff on here. Understanding social media as a connecting piece. Over 2 hours a day are spent on social media by the average American. It's where the people are at. And there's also ways that social media gets used so that you are seen by more people. I think it's 6% of your friends will see you if you're not an active user, and as much as 14% will see your post if you use the algorithms well. So we'll get into more of this. Doug Wood and Carol Hips actually did a phenomenal video on this that you can check out. But things that make you go higher and put you in front of more people is one, live videos. Live videos make a huge difference in algorithms. Facebook wants to be the #1 live video streaming service. So when you go live, they bump you up in algorithms, which means more people see your stuff. Plus, it's just bolder. Think about when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see people going live, you're like, dang, that person is, I don't know what they're talking about, but they're confident enough to be talking about something. Even if you don't watch it, it's just something that puts you in people's minds. Also, it has the ability to connect you with other people if you're bringing value and posting. Facebook is a social interaction forum. So if you interact with more people, they know like, oh my gosh, you're a value. I'm going to put you around more people so they can see you living your health. So these are just some basic things. I'm going to have some other people get to this later, but I wanted you guys to understand the tool of how it actually connects into the whole deal. So as we get going this week, I know you guys are doing all of these things, but I want to invite you guys to make an actual commitment to this month of February. This month, it's such a pivotal month. Sorry, I have a little frog in my throat this morning here. Hold on, I need some more coffee. I want to show you guys the recipe for success. And many of you guys have already been doing this. April, you spoke to this last month. Kelly, you've spoken to this before. You're on my screen right now. This is what, if you were like to be like, okay, I'm going to draw a line in the sand and I'm really going to set myself up for the best February possible. Maybe you're one of the newer coaches that have got a great start. I'm going to encourage you today. We're going to show you exactly what to put in place that'll help you do this and be authentic in front of people. Because also, I'm going to preface for the people that are new. We don't sell. We don't blanket market. We inspire with hope and by leading by examples. And if you follow these steps, you will have people flocking to you. And the piece that pulls it all together is consistency in the time you give to it. So starting today, this will be step #1. And I know you guys are already here. Like Billy, like I just see you posting pictures and your lives at the gym and everything. So I know you guys are leading with your health. But starting today, be in pursuit of your next level of health, wherever that is, and be using one of our plans to do that. That's like a no-brainer. But if that's that today, if you want to set up your February for success, really today, are you locked in and committed to that? You might not be, and everyone's at different seasons, but if you really want to set up your month for success in this time where people are looking for you, Be at that example, be pushing yourself to that next level. The next thing is creating lots of connections, the basic setup for it. So we've got the map. Has everyone got their map? You guys all fill that out and see the new one, got it filled out here. April, we had a great conversation about your map this week. I love it. Everyone on my screen's got it. Health assessments, because when you're doing this, you're going to have the need to connect with people. So you want to have fresh ones. You don't want to be reaching for your computer. And then your hundreds connection list. Like, these are the tools. If you have these things, we will show you how to make a ton of connections this month. So, and then committing to consistency on the 3, 3, and 3. And that's why we covered it last week in setting up the topics of getting your schedule and those blocks laid in there. So again, I didn't want to miss these things here. This is your map. And if you haven't got this done yet, again, we're just showing you what everyone does that keeps coaching simple. Today, if you haven't done your map, make sure you take 10, 15 minutes to get that laid out. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there, and you'll do way less concise effort to do these things. And have that hundreds list. I gave you guys a tip, is if you guys were starting fresh this month, put down your top 15 people on that list. It should be organized in the people that you want to talk to or have been talking to you most. And then you can go down, because we'll show you how to make connections with those people. So either put your top 15 people that you are wanting to get started as with coaching or client in their health journey. And then maybe for some of you, because you guys have been coaching for a while, the next 15, put down like your most desired clients that you want to get re-engaged at this time of year, because that's going to be a very easy thing to do. If you've got these things set up, it really just comes down to connection and moving forward on this. So what I'm really excited about, we covered it on the video with Doug and I, we put back the connection, the activity tracker in here. So what my invitation is to you guys this month, because we're going to get right in here into action. And that's what we're going to start our month off with, because that's what makes the difference when starting a month. A lot of people will start to get into action after the 15th. That's like a normal setup. If you start action now, you're going to keep that wave building. And it's going to be as simple as this. 3 conversations a day. These are check boxes on your map. It's going to help you also be more focused on your map each day. Wendy's nodding, because Wendy, you committed this last year and you got over 10,000 in frontline volume. Like, you've seen this exactly happen in your business. So in the pivotal month, make starting 3 conversations a day. And that just means as much as like reaching back out to people that have asked you, or just saying hi, just being in connection. That's going to bump your algorithms up, but that's going to put you in contact. So where do you pull those things each day? Because, just doing connections. Oh, just go to your list and just knock out 3 a day. And if you want to do more, do double of those things. So just starting connections each day and then tracking it so you can see the pulse check of your actions each month. And then social media posts, 3 posts a day. Go ahead and do more. And it doesn't have to be, Optavia this or Optavia that. It could be you living your life out there. Your health journey is already apparent in people's lives. They see the change in you. People know when you're on fire, by the way. I just want to share that with you. Shireen Fleming, you confirmed something that I already knew just from seeing a few of your posts. You didn't talk about how you were on fire, but I could feel your energy. And when you're on fire, people can feel it. So just being out there alone in front of people makes a huge difference. So go live, share stuff, share value. People go where there's value, give tips, recipes. Like, I think it was Nicole Parker. Did you do something on Facebook this last week? You were like, what's your favorite thing you find on Amazon? If you do that, people tune into what you're doing and they find value in what you're doing. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, just start posting. Mike, we talked last night and I was like, dude, it doesn't matter. Just pick up the phone and push record. People want to see your life and they want to be in connection with you. And social media is just another way of putting an accelerator on all the connections you already have. So that one's that one. Again, checking off 3 boxes a day. And then new connections. April, you're on my screen. You are so good at this. You connect with everyone everywhere you go, and you make sure to connect them back to your social media. I can't tell you how many people you told me constantly have reached back out to you because you made the connection and then they're in your Facebook world. So it's either new connections, and someone's already making crosses off on the screen, so that's great. So obviously someone's doing some activity. But so you can either do 1 or 2 things to keep this simple each day. And just committing 15 to 20 minutes of the pockets of your day to doing this is a difference maker in the month. Mike just said that. Just go push live. Just do it. So new connections. Any given time, there's probably 40 to 100 people that you are already in connection with in your life that you are not connected with on Facebook, that are not seeing your health journey, that are not seeing the change in your life, that are not thinking about you because you're not in front of them. So either make new connections and connect them to you, like our new neighbor that started on Plan a couple months ago because we met them and added them on Facebook and they messaged me and asked me what I did, or people that you already know that you are not connected with. So either day, committing to expanding that each day. If you do that, I think you guys can see just from the basics. We're not even talking about the people that reach out or comment. This would be over 200 additional touches with people, and touches make the difference. So that's what we invite you to do this month, starting out this week and making connection. Again, you guys are already doing the basics because you guys are growing, but this thing will help you accelerate what's already going on. Does that make sense? Can I get a 1 in the chat if this all makes sense, or if this has made a difference for you in your business? All right, cool. Allison, I know, Allison, you're usually our example of this. Okay, cool, we got this. All right. So, oops, I went too far. So that's what we're going to do this month. Again, last check on this. Make sure you're set up this month. You know, we always talk about doing your map on the last day of the month, getting set up for success, taking every example or every day possible this month and moving forward. Touch your map every single day, because here's the last thing. What you focus on is what you create. And if you're focused on people and where you want to go, you'll start to fill in the action needed to do that. So anyways, this is where I stop talking. And so hopefully this is valuable for. I'm going to bring on some people as an example of this. They're going to share some tips on this as well. So the first person I want to bring on, I'm really excited about. First, guys, let's give it up. A congrats. Dan and Jill Hyatt, they hit their first month of 3-month qualifications for global director. And I want to share something with you. Oh my gosh, I just realized how many people are on here this morning. Oh my gosh, I love spending time with you guys in the morning. It makes my day. But anyways, I'm getting distracted here. Last year, Dan and Jill went to Go Global almost this time last year. And at that event, and Dan shared some different things and Jill shared some different things with me, but they basically said, we want to change a lot of lives and we want to do this big. Will you help us do this? They reached out to Denise and I, and we linked arms with them. They weren't even FIBC this time last month. They went to town on leading with their health. They have a phenomenal health journey, and everyone has a phenomenal health journey. Everyone's story is unique, by the way, and that's what makes this all work. But they committed to these steps, and I want to have them come on and share with you a little bit about like what they did and committed to that made all the difference. And going from like 7,000-ish frontline volume this time last year, not even FIBC, to global director and running over 12,000 volume regularly in 1 year. So Dan and Jill, by the way, good example. They are living life on purpose. They're at their son's basketball game right now. So Dan and Jill, are you there? Can you come off today? Let me see.
There we go.
There we go.
Can you hear us?
There we go. We can hear you. Come on, guys. Give us some of those tips today as we start.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Brad. Appreciate it. Jill and I are just blown away and honored that we even made global director, much less being invited to talk on this thing and teach you guys some stuff. Big shout out to our team. You guys are amazing. You're growing. You're learning. The things we're seeing on our team are inspiring us and teaching us, blowing our mind. Just as an example, yesterday we got a brand new senior coach, Jamie Wright. Shout out to Jamie Wright. She's brand new senior coach, and something just clicked in her this last week. And she sent me a screenshot of her phone, her wallpaper on her phone, and it said executive director on it. She found an executive director graphic and put it on there to set sights on executive director and focus on that. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world because she's being motivated by that. So that was just really awesome, and just so many others that are just doing great. Keep up the good work. Link arms with us. So yeah, Brad kind of stole our thunder a little bit, as to what happened. But here's basically it. I went global by myself the first time, 2017, I believe. Was that 2016? Yeah. And I hit executive director the 31st of the month, and I was at Go Global 7 days later. And then I went back again last year by myself, also as an executive director. Actually, I just hit regional director, and sat pretty much in the executive director seat for a year, a little over a year. And I'm sitting there at the last day of the event. They've got the awards ceremony, and one person upon the next, and the next, all being awarded their rank up advancements. And they all had the same story. I was listening carefully because I'm like, why is it not me? Why can't I be up there? And they all had the same story. We linked arms with our team. They reached out. We reached out to our support team. We leaned into them. We focused on what they're teaching us. And then it clicked on me. I'm not doing that. I've been spending the last year doing my own thing. For my coaches who are clients on here, you remember my awesome hour-and-a-half PowerPoint that I created to talk to clients. It was absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? Brad and Denise love me enough to say, try it, okay? And I tried a little bit too long. It was ridiculous, but for me, it worked for a little bit. But the big thing is I didn't reach out to anybody. And that's when I got so fired up. I turned around, Brad was sitting behind me, and I said, I want that person to be me next year. I want Jill and I to be walking hand in hand across the stage, accepting the award for Go Global and inspire others and tell our story. And I told my kids that the other day. I said, never set a goal I didn't achieve. And we were down to the wire the other night trying to get there. And, shout out to a really, really hard worker on here, Lisa Yeakley, who we did this till 5 to 12 midnight on the end of the month. And her phone was just ringing and, texting, people going up. Anyway, so I think that was really the key. We linked arms with Brad and Denise, and Frank and Ashley, and just our whole team, and they taught us, all the things we need to, all the steps that we need to do to take it to the next level, and to follow advice. Keep it simple. I wasn't keeping it simple. Focus on the simple systems. Focus on the steps. Focus on consistency, and that was really, I think, the key to that. And then getting on Facebook. Okay, when I started as a coach, I had 77 friends, and my background was pretty much, I was an inside sales company, so I really was not making connections with people. So I was on the inside. I had 77 friends. I started building it up. I started looking around. I was on all of these coffee, because this is every single training we've had, I've been on. And yeah, guys, for those of you who've been on these things for a while, yeah, I complained, I whined, wow, these things are so similar. They're, what do they teach me? They teach me the same thing, week after week. Why am I listening to this? Consistency. Okay. It's all about that. Kicked in. So I listened to that. I went into Facebook. I started making friends. I started looking at my sphere of influence, went back to my high school and just, my high school Facebook post or page, clicking on add friends. Then I went to college, started clicking add friends, past companies I worked at, add friends. Then I looked at all of, past business connections. I'm up to 2,700 friends now. Went from 77 friends to 2,700 friends in not that long a time. So, and that grows daily. I do about 50 of those a day. So being consistent, I will make a post, at least 3 to 5 posts a day, whether it's before and after pictures with someone's story. And I'll just tell you this, where do I get these things from? Everyone wants to know, where do I get my stuff from? I steal it, okay? I steal it from the people who are doing it, okay? The people like Carol Hips, who we love and respect, we steal their stuff. People like, what's her name? Oh, Ashley Miller. Yeah, her name. We steal her stuff. People like Dawn Chow and, people like that who are doing it. We look at the, now here's the key. And Jen talked on this last week. She's going to hit on this probably today also is, yeah, we do copy this stuff, but we don't copy and paste. We'll put the picture up, and then we'll put a little bit of the blurb up in the story, but we write things in our words. Otherwise, the algorithms won't take them. So you have to put it in your words. So that's where we get our stuff. We steal it. We look at the best. We look at someone like Carol Hips, who's now going integrated presidential in 17 months. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. What's she doing? She's living her life out loud. I mean, every time her kid smiles, she takes a picture. Every time her dog rolls over, she takes a picture. And she's doing live video constantly. So I've been encouraging live video. That's something Jill and I absolutely suck on. We're working on that, the courage to do that, slowly. But, everything else has been working for us. We got our team doing it now for the last couple of days, and they've been rocking it. So, I made a post last October, and this is, I think, kind of a pivotal point where things started happening. And I stole this, okay, not going to lie, I stole this from somebody else. And it's basically, who wants to lose 25 to 50 pounds by Christmas? And I put, 10 to 25 pounds or more. Okay, A, 25, 10 to 25, B, 20, blah, 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 up to E. Well, I had 84 people reply to that. And what did I do? I went back to each one of those people and messaged back saying, hey, I see you're looking to lose 10, 20, 30, 50, 80 pounds. Here comes the kids. Basketball game number one's over. So, in between. So, lost my train of thought. Okay. So, yeah, we know you lost. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway,
so you made this
post. People responding like crazy. One of the guys that responded was Jim Campbell. And he came back and said he wanted to lose 25 pounds. He reached out to me, and he'd been stalking me. This is kind of cool. He'd been stalking me for a long, long time. He finally reached out to me and said, yeah, I want to do this, but it's going to be impossible for me to lose 25 pounds by Christmas. I said, yeah, well, that's my challenge. I said, 25 pounds, this is October. You can lose that by the end of October. And he did. And he went on, and, I won't even tell his story. You can tell that someday. But he made executive director the end of January. That's just somebody who, just a random guy who reached out, never met this guy before. He just found me, stalked me, liked it, wanted what we had there. And, we worked linked arm around him and Carrie, and now he's one of our latest executive directors, and he's just rocking it. So he's been awesome.
And I have to say about Facebook, if we didn't have Facebook, we wouldn't be here, because I was at a point where I needed to lose weight. And one of my kids had come to me who had needed to lose some weight and came to me and said, Mom, I need help. And I was with losing weight. And I thought, how can I help my own son if I can't help myself? So I went on Facebook for some odd reason, because everybody goes to Facebook, and I started looking around, and I found my friend Denise Heinrichs, who we had gone to college 30 years ago, and I saw something on her Facebook. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember something showing that she had made a change in her life, and I wanted to know what it was about. So I texted her out of the blue saying, Denise, I need to talk to you. I need help with my weight. We talked an hour later, and here we are today helping all these people now, and it's wonderful. And just to let you guys know, there are a lot of stalkers on Facebook. I was stalking Denise for 2 months before I reached out to her. And so we have a lot of stalkers. Just be consistent in your posts, and eventually they'll come around. I've gotten on a lot of different sites on Facebook, such as
this is important, guys. I want you to listen to this. This is really, really cool what she's been doing, and this has been working. So listen up.
There was something on my Facebook that popped up about drinking water daily, and there's an app that you can join. And so I started following these posts, and all these people were talking about they're drinking water, but they're not losing weight. So I just popped in there saying it's more than just drinking water. It's nutrition, exercise. I've lost 111 pounds. And then all of a sudden, all these women shot back at me saying, what's your secret? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So there's been over 25 women that I've been in contact with about this program. And then also we have 2 dogs that are golden doodles. And there's a
Go Golden Doodle.
There's a site, and there's all these people on there who are gold doodle people. Anyways, I've been friending those people, and now those people are looking at my posts. And this one woman in particular that I'm talking to this coming week, she's like, I'm so glad I ran into you, Jill, over golden doodles. I need your help. I love what you're doing on Facebook, and we need to talk. And I don't know who she is, but we started talking, and we've got a conversation going, and now she's willing to talk to me next week. So yay, Facebook, and keep those things going. It does happen.
I just want to wrap it up by saying, consistency, but add one word to that, and that's patience. A lot of people, my team and myself included, we do these posts. We don't see a lot of action. We see a lot of people clicking likes on it. A lot of them are you guys, liking our posts, making comments. And it's like, wow, no one's doing it. No one's saying anything. All we're doing is planting seeds, okay? Planting seeds for the future. And you just need to be patient and hang in there. It's going to happen. It may not happen today or tomorrow. It will happen. It usually happens at 11:45 midnight, the end of the month, where you're tired and exhausted, but they all pop. So hang in there. Be patient with this thing. Facebook works. Social media works in general. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to use Instagram and really rock it. For some reason, my brain's fried on that. So that's all we have to say.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you for sharing. It's actually great stuff. Actually, can you guys mute yourself? Because I'm getting feedback when I'm talking. Can you guys mute yourself? All right, there we go. Good. Guys, great stuff. Congratulations. The chat was blowing up. And I think that was such a beautiful example of you guys have taken on your health. You guys' story is amazing. And again, you guys live out loud. You're in your community. And it's not just something, there's not like Facebook hacks. It's about connections and consistency. Thank you for that example of that and the breakthrough you provided for so many people, because you've shown your team how to do that, and people are out looking for what we have. So thank you for being a great example of that. Let's move on to Jen. So I'm going to have Jen, you're our next speaker on this, dropping some knowledge on this, because again, we're going back to this is how we're kicking off our month with action. And you're a great example. I grabbed you because you said two things to me. Well, one, you ran the highest frontline volume last month. And two, you were like, okay, Brad, at one point you just kind of said in passing, okay, you were like, okay, I heard that 3, 3, and 3 thing. And so I started really doing more like 7, 5, and 6. And so you just done more action and been in connection with people. You do everything that we were just talking about. So drop some knowledge on this, so people can continue to get some grasp on how to create that for themselves.
Am I not muted, or am I muted?
You're good now. You're good.
Okay, cool. All right. So first off, I just want to make a big shout out to my team, because they have been killing it this last month and a half. Kim Gray, who's out there, and DJ, and Kim Broderson, Shannon, and Scott Made Manager, super excited. At the very tail end of the month, like last day of the month, which just rocked it. They blew me away. And so, just kind of want to shout out to them, because they're just really killing it this month. And so basically, I'm going to take y'all back to the very beginning of my journey, my health coaching journey, which was basically July. So I became a health coach July 13th. Basically, within a very short period, like a day or two, decided to just go to convention. I don't know. I just got this wild hair, and I'm like, I'm going to convention. So anyone who's thinking about going to convention completely can change your entire business. All right. I'm not joking there. So April's shaking her head, and I knew that April was running really high frontline volume. It was the talk of the convention. So I went to April on my last day there, and I'm like, hey, I heard that you are really good at this social media thing, this Facebook thing. What are you doing? Just tell me in like 3 minutes. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I friend a lot of people, and I'm like, okay, well, what's that all about? Like, I said, I have a lot of Facebook friends. I have like 700. And she kind of looked at me, and I thought I had a lot. I was like, I got 700 friends. Like, I'm doing good. And she's like, oh, no, honey. Like, yeah, I have like 3,000. And I'm like, you have 3,000 Facebook friends? Okay, obviously I have a little bit of work to do here. And so she sort of started telling me about that, and she's like, yeah, I do 10 a day or whatever. So friending, and so I was like, okay, that's note taken. Got to get more Facebook friends. And she's like, yeah, I post, at least 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, and then I reach out and message people. So I took that basically. So on my way home from convention, I actually had to fly out of San Francisco. So I had like an hour, 3-hour drive home. So I start going to my Facebook and basically going to going through my friends list. making list after list after list. I mean, I just start like just going crazy of people, because you guys, this thing changed my entire life. Okay. So for me, there is a passion inside of me that's like, I want to change other people's lives. These aren't just lists of people that I'm like, oh, I want them to get, you know, this is like, I'm bringing hope. I'm bringing hope to these people. And these are my prayer lists. And I can even go over this is the list in the car. My husband's driving me home. I'm making this list and he's just kind of looking over at me like, what are you doing? You know? And I'm trying to explain this to him. There are probably at least 30 people on this original list that are now clients of mine. And these are people that I started, like, I almost looked at this as a hope list, a prayer list, whatever you want to look at it as. But these are people that I wanted to start pouring into. So I tell you that because then I started becoming very intentional about, because with Facebook algorithms and all that good stuff, right? It's about actually going, I was intentional about like going to their pages, checking out what's happening, and commenting, not just liking their stuff, but actually commenting on their stuff. Okay, because then that tells Facebook that we're friends and we want to be in connection with each other. Because I can't tell you, now I'm up to like 3,000 friends, like April, okay? But like, I do not see a lot of those 3,000 people's stuff, okay? And the other thing that I don't do, I don't go news feeding. I don't go through and waste my time scrolling through Facebook. Like, I use Facebook as a tool, and I am very intentional about where I go, because I might take these people, and I mean, this just reminds me, I need to actually even go through this list, make myself a new list, and I need to be more intentional even today, just about going and being intentional. Okay, so I get off track. I want to touch on Dan's planting seeds, okay? It's all about the planting seeds, because some of you might be discouraged. You're like, I do the Facebook. I put up other people's before and afters. I want to encourage you. Those are all good, but people want to hear about you, okay? They want to hear your story. They want to hear about what's going on in your life, in your health journey. Those are the posts that make the biggest difference, is being authentic and being you. And absolutely, Dan and I, we all steal each other's stuff, but you know what? I might steal somebody's stuff, but then I try to change it up and I try to add my own life experience into it. So definitely being intentional about the posts that you're posting, being authentic, being real. I'm kind of fired up. Before I got on this call, I listened to the most recent Facebook video that was done by Doug Wood and Carol Hips this morning, which was incredible. I didn't even know it was there. It was just made like 3 weeks ago. Highly encourage you all to go check it out. It's on Simple Systems. It's called like Facebook Algorithms. And so I'm really fired up, because after hearing Carol, this is what it comes down to. I'm even realizing for myself, I need to do way more Facebook Lives. I've touched on it, and I know a lot of you out there are super afraid of it, all right? It is scary, okay? I get it. But you know what I'll say on that is that we can post and post and post and post. This is what Carol was talking about. But you know what? When you get on there and you're Facebook Living, that person is seeing your heart at that point, okay? And when they're seeing your heart, and they are seeing the authentic, real person that you are and that you want to bring hope, okay, that's where the difference is made. So just want to kind of throw out there, I'm going to get brave today, and I'm going to get out there and do another Facebook Live. I haven't done one in over a month. And, you know, it's really about, just like what Mike was saying earlier, I'm just going to push the button. Just push the button, be real, be authentic, share your story, share your health journey. If you share how this program has changed your life, okay, people can see post after post after post of different people's before and afters. But when you actually get on there and you share a Facebook Live with people, okay, that's when the difference is going to be made. And that's when people are going to reach out to you. Because a lot of you, even some coaches of mine on here, are like, why isn't it working? Why are people not? It's like, just get yourself out there. Get, you know, just kick fear in the face, all right? Kick fear in the face, do it, just do it. I had a ton more that I wanted to share. And I know I'll forget. Oh, I was going to share about just a couple of examples of people that have reached out to me recently. So you guys, I have a lot of Facebook friends that I do not know. I don't know them, okay? I have a lot of clients that I never knew before they reached out to me to get on this plan. And it's because I'm not afraid of friending people that I don't know. If we have a lot of mutual friends in common, I'll friend them. So this one guy, Frank, I friended him probably a month ago, and he basically was like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but we have a lot of mutual friends, in common, and I'm really glad that we're Facebook friends. We're connected now." Like, that's just kind of my whole attitude about it. And he's like, "All right, cool. We do. Like, a lot of my high school friends are friends of yours." And I'm like, "Okay, and I don't even know if I really know them, but we're friends now." So, he told me he was from somewhere in California near Fresno, Kings River. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I used to go to the Kings River." Like, we just started a conversation, right? I used to go to the Kings River like every year. We used to go to a place called Lindy's Landing. Like, "Oh yeah, I know where that is." Okay, fast forward, right? That was about 2 weeks ago. Just kind of dropped the conversation, just let it lie. Okay, he texted me last night and he said, "Hey, I've been looking at your Facebook, and it looks like you're like a health coach. And I've lost like 150 pounds he's a big dude, in the last year, but I'm kind of at a plateau right now. Just wondering kind of if can you tell me about what you're doing?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So we have a call scheduled at 11 o'clock this morning. That is an example, though, of like, I didn't know him. I had a brief, so anyway, I don't know if that helps, but one more just kind of fun example, right? I'm a teacher, so taught at a school right near my house. I was very good friends with two of these teachers, and they reached out to me. So, and they're good friends. So I actually just went to their house and we talked about plan. But when I first sat down with them, the funniest thing, and they're hilarious people. And so I was like, "So I don't know if you guys, really know about kind of what I've been doing." Or no, I said, "I'm sure you guys know about kind of what I've been doing, my journey, my health journey." And they both look at each other and they're like, "Are you kidding me? Yes, we know what you're doing." Okay? Because the thing is, with Facebook, and when you're friends with people and they see all your stuff, I mean, these two ladies, they just kind of cracked up. They're like, "Yeah, we know what your story is." So that's just kind of another example of living out loud. Just keep doing it. So anyway, that's what I got.
That is so good, Jen. Thank you for sharing those examples. And I love this because, you guys, this is our first starting out the month. I told you guys we would be getting into action. We're going to get into the support piece, and we're going to show you how to coach really well, especially, again, for all you guys that are new. But I think you guys see the connection now on how you can connect with multiple people and how it's consistency, and how part of your coaching actually is in how you live your life out loud. It's a multiplier effect. So, Jen, I know your clients do well because you lead with your health and you live it out loud. You're part of that inspiration. It's what you do, and you don't have to say anything to them. So we're going to get more into that next week. I'm going to bring one more person on, Lindsay, to wrap up this call. So, Lindsay, you are a rock star, great at this, and you actually even shared with me, or was it December, to Kelly and I, that you were like, "Okay, I'm just going to kick it fear in the face, and I'm going to go live." And you were like, "I freaking hate it, but I want to do it. It's going to lead to breakthrough in people's health." And you started more clients. I think you started you started almost the most amount of clients in that month. And also, you started putting in a lot of this into effect last year when we started working together a little bit more, and you saw your frontline volume skyrocket. You let go of all your personal training clients that you didn't like working with, and now you do more of what you love. So share a little bit about this on what you do, because it's all the same thing. Again, find your voice. And I'll wrap this up here today as we kind of go into the month, because we're going to focus on action. But there's also a key piece that I don't want to miss on this, that people do when they're doing this really well, and that's connecting and bringing it to the phone. And especially for new coaches. Would you share some information on that today?
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn it over to you as we finish up.
Yes, of course. Thanks. Man, Jen, you are fire. I don't even know how I can follow up after that. So yeah, moving conversations to the phone, obviously we're very intentional on Facebook, and we're posting, 3 times a day. We're doing the 3-3-3. But I want to encourage everybody to not use the 3-3-3 as just something on your to-do list that you have to do, right? We want to build really authentic relationships with people on Facebook. My goal is to actually become friends with as many people as possible, and not just virtually. Like, I want to meet them for coffee. I want to go take yoga classes with them. I really want them to be a part of my life. So like Jen said, Facebook is a tool. It's a tool for us to be intentional and help move people forward. So I want to touch on being authentic. Both Dan and Jill and Jen all said this. Being really authentic and being you is truly the most important part of this. Other coaches inspire me. You all inspire me. But I want to take those posts and make them my own. So I use your inspiration, and then I make the post my own. So I really want to give you guys some tangible steps today before we close here. So let me pull up. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see this? All right. So okay, so I just, a lot of the things I do is I start conversations, like most of us, on Facebook. The one thing is I'm actually starting conversations, and I'm not attached to the outcome of this. So I'm not looking at every conversation I'm building with people for me to get them on program, right? I'm trying to build authentic relationships with people. So this is just an example of somebody that had posted in a group I'm in. She was looking for yoga class. I also teach yoga. And we just kind of started having a conversation about something yoga related. So she ended up sending me this message, and she saw my Facebook post, because I am consistent on Facebook with my posts of being a health coach. Everybody knows I'm a health coach. So we set up a time. I know my schedule really well, so I was very specific in the time that I offered her to maybe hop on the phone with me. So that's an important piece, is be very specific. Make it easy for people to say yes to hopping on the phone with you. Another example here, I'm starting conversations. I talked to this person probably a year or two ago. She saw one of my Instagram posts, and we just started talking. And then if you can see over here, I set a specific time with her, and we got on the phone and we chatted, and now she's in her second week of program. With this one, again, starting a conversation. I'm a real person. I don't get weird just because if you start to get weird, it's probably because you're really attached to the outcome. Like, oh God, don't mess this up. Like, I really want them to get on program. I'm just starting conversations with people. Like, I don't want it to get to that point where I'm making it all weird. So look I'm talking about, by the way, your hair extensions look awesome. That's something I would normally say. So this one is also started her health journey a month ago. Okay, so here's one I really wanted to go over. So we all have those people, Dan and Jill kind of went over this, the people that are watching you on Facebook, right? They're the ones that are watching. They're constantly liking your posts, but they never reach out to you. So this person has liked a ton of my posts. So one day I just said, if you look at the top left of your screen, all I said was, hi, how are you? I saw your name pop up, and I just wanted to say, hey. That's all I said. I didn't make it about program. I didn't make it weird. And all of a sudden she started asking me. She's been liking my posts for 6 months now, and now she's on program. Okay, so I started that conversation. Much of the same there. Here's another one. Just looking to get healthy. She gave me her goals, and then, are you around tonight? And we got on the phone and we chatted. Okay, so I wanted to go with some tangible stuff for Facebook, and I'll wrap up here. So like I said, I'm very authentic on Facebook. Okay. I like to post about life. I post about health. I post about literally everything in between. So I make videos of my workouts because that's something I'm really passionate about. It's very authentically me. I love to share that, like, my life is pretty awesome as a health coach. I get to go to Mexico next month because I feel like it. I get to change my office. I went live with no makeup on Christmas. I'm in my PJs, and I was very inspired that morning, and I sat there for 5 minutes and I just pressed go live, and it was perceived really, really well. So I shared my heart, and it went well. No one's going to die if you go live, I promise. I try to be witty and funny on Facebook. I post a lot of selfies. I feel like those get a ton of attention. I posted my abs, you know, that was kind of scary, but it started a lot of conversations. So just more posts of much of the same thing, but I just really share my life on Facebook. And that's what I just wanted to get across, is that I'm really authentic in starting conversations with people. That's all I got for you.
All right. I think that was so good. Lindsay, the chat was blowing up, you guys. So you guys, as we finish up here today, welcome to February. Last week, we got our structure all set up, and now hopefully that's starting to make sense, because that's why we train in series, so you can see how it all ties together. The reason why we get your structure set up is so you have time to do that. Lindsay, you said a bunch of things in there. Make sure you don't make it a to-do list. You definitely don't want to do that, or else it'll come through in your actions that it's a to-do list. So I have a couple things here as we wrap up, but also to bring it to the phone. I hope people didn't miss that. You weren't weird in your conversations, but you didn't give away the how before the why. So you were in a relationship, and you made it easy for them to come to the phone. And you also know when you're available. The same reason of all the things we talked about last week. Your schedule is set up, so you have time to make these connections, and you're consistent in them, and the result is successful. So I just want to say that. And as we wrap up today, you guys, again, I said it a little bit here earlier, but if you commit to being consistent, and part of being a really good health coach is doing these things, we'll help you grow your business. But this has a compounding effect on how you live your life, on who wants to pay it forward. How great is your life? How great is your health? Jen, you said on a training a couple months ago, like you always remember how good your health is, of where you came from, because people can feel that in your posts and when you're posting, because you know how much has changed in your life. So the more you can display it, the more you're inviting people into it. And then that support lives on as your support to your clients. So I know this has been like, okay, when do we get the nuts and bolts? Well, next week, because now you know how to bring them to the phone, you know how to inspire, and you know how to bring people and connections to you. So I was going to say one last thing here before I forget. Don't want to forget. I guess I did forget. So anyways, other cool news. So they're doing a accelerated incentive this month as we wrap up. Any new coach that comes on and starts their first 2 clients over 500 in frontline volume, each, you, the sponsoring coach, and that coach get an extra $50 just for getting a good start. So that's just good news as we're starting off here. And what I really encourage you guys, oops, I got this late. This is the recap of what we encourage you to do. You can do massive action, or you can kind of play around with it a little bit. Wherever you're at, we invite you to be consistent. That's why we started out with this. Oh, this is where I was going to go. This is where I was going. Is part of being a really good coach and part of helping people is being in so much action like this. You're going to have people that come on that don't get it, that aren't ready. You'll have a 1 out of 12 or 1 out of 15, no matter how great you set the example, are going to complain about the food. If you're in so much action that you're bringing on people that want health, that want to create this, that want to pay it forward, you won't worry about those people. If you're not doing enough action, that one person is going to get in your head. So be in so much action to set that example for people, so that when that person chooses to be weird, you're going to be the best health coach in the world and be like, no problem. Call me when you're ready. I'm always here. Because I've been coaching for a while. I got to tell you, some of my biggest breakthroughs in my clients have been because of those exact scenarios. It was because we were doing so much action that it didn't bother me. And my consistency meant they knew where to reach out when it was time to get healthy. And I was also growing my business in between. So much action that some of the people that aren't ready don't affect you, so they know where to go when it's time to be true. That's what makes a great health coach. So sorry to get passionate about it, but you can see that we invite you to be in connections this time of month, whatever pace you want to go. Here's the recipe. So here's the recap this week. In your health, be pursuing your next goal right now. You don't have to be perfect, but the more you're moving forward this time of year where people are looking forward, that's how you know what to share. To share authentically, you just share what you're doing. Double check everyone has a map. I want to make sure no one's behind. If you haven't done a map yet, make sure no one goes executive director or builds beyond that without a map. So make sure you've got the people, like Jen, you're talking about your list of real people in front of you. Start your connections today. We want to really invite you to be consistent on that this month. That's going to be a thing that we encourage you to do. Again, you guys obviously are starting clients. Keep doing what you're doing, but if you want to add some massive results to it, let's start getting consistent on that. And like Lindsay said, don't make it a to-do list. Start with action. Here's the other last tip that I encourage you today. You have that list. And hopefully if you redid it, you have your top 15 people sitting right there, and possibly some of your restarts that you really want to reach out to. Go reach out to all 30 of those people this weekend. I mean, we're going to start the connection process, but we just started February. a great reach out is saying, hey, I'm starting the month of February. I want to check back with you. I'm looking to work with more people starting their health in February. Would you like to elevate your health with me? Or something to that effect. Go make the invitation. The worst thing they can say is no. I mean, if you've been talking to them. And so I would encourage you to start your 3, 3, and 3 and go make reach outs. That's what to be doing at the start of the month, is go create those next steps. And then lastly, because this is what the best health coaches do, go focus on what your business needs this week. If you have people you should be talking about with coaching, go do those things. If you have potential clients, go start those. Don't go create your business. Don't react to your business around the 21st of the month. So that's what we got for you. Dan, Jill, Jen, Lindsay, everyone in the chat, thank you for all the tips. Congrats on a great month. This is how to build on it. We invite you to be consistent in the month of February and change more lives. I look forward to celebrating what happens because of what we started today. Thank you, everyone that shared, and have a great week.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Brad. You guys, this was awesome.
Great training. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, guys.
So strong.
Wowzer.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. It was awesome.
All right, you guys, have a great month. And the last thing I would encourage you to do is be intentional. If you know where you're going to go, the people start showing up. It's crazy how it works like that. I see some of you guys now. Yeah.
Hey, Brad, before, I know some people got to go, but I just wanted to add one more thing. As you were saying that last wrap-up thing, it reminded me of one thing that I wanted to share too, is when you're messaging people, like for the first time, like you're making that connection, of course, like not making it about necessarily, hey, I have this plan that I think you should get on, right? Like you're reaching out to connect with them in an authentic relationship. And another thing is, like, don't copy and paste like the same message to the same, to like 10 people. Like, ask them about their kids, put their kids' names in there. Like, make it a personal connection. Because I think sometimes people can see right through when you're not making an authentic connection. If you're just like looking for people to get on your plan, right? And that's not what we're about. We're about bringing hope, and we're about authentically connecting to them. So when you are reaching out with your messages and you're trying to just reconnect a relationship, maybe you haven't talked to this person in 10 years, right? You want to create a relationship, right? And it's not about a health plan at that point. You're just connecting in relationship. So I knew that I wanted to share that earlier and I forgot it. And as you were talking about the 3, 3, and 3 just now, I was like, oh, I need to make sure that everyone knows, like, just make sure you're being real with people. You want to connect with them in an authentic way. So thanks.
Jen, I'm glad you stopped by, or you shared that, because it's so key. So for everyone that stayed on for the bonus tips, that's amazing. Don't copy and paste anything, because we're not talking at people. We're just being in connection. And that's what's great about the 3, 3, and 3. Bare minimum, if you follow along with it, you will have started intentional, at least 200 connections this month. And imagine how many of those people want to do what you're doing, because you guys know how much it's changed in your health. And you keep going to the next level, people can sense that. So have a great month, everybody. That's how we're going to kick off. Next week, we're going to get into how to share really well and awaken health in the people that we connect with. So stay tuned. That's where we're going next. Talk to you guys later.
Thanks everybody.